Okay, this is part two of one-on-one talk time. I'm just gonna wiggle this around so it doesn't go out on me like it did last time. Which I mean, if I get into it, it's fine if that goes out. It's just me promoting myself. Anyway, so continuing for where we left off on part two. I mean, part one. This is part two of one-on-one talk time. Now, basically, if you saw part one, you obviously saw that I paid $3,500 for a situation where I was intoxicated outside of a bar, waiting on my Uber, accidentally went to the wrong Uber, was told to leave the Uber, well, leave the car. I did. No complaint, no argument about that. It was embarrassing. All right, 90% of you are already fizzling out. Now, to the main point. Basically, I was very enraged about it because of the fact that that could happen to anybody. That's why I say my situations aren't so unique. Anybody who's just trying to get a drink could end up in that same situation. I actually talked to a lot of our guys that go to the bar, and all of them have different little stories about exactly that. Police just jump it out of nowhere because it's always the case where that's the easy one to get. That's the easy quota to get. Public intoxication. Oh, you had a couple drinks? So yeah, it's and again, the difference between the two cops was one was actually trying to talk. One was actually trying to talk. But the thing about it is that the first one already messed up on one thing. He never asked me where I was going, what I was trying to do after this. We were hung up on whether or not I was going to get arrested, which I was right more so than him, because I feel as though him being right wouldn't lead to this. Me being right leads to this because I already knew what they were going to do. Just like with the military guy who was racist, it's all the same. The moment they look at me, they're already on alert. Even if I see a black officer, staff sergeant, either military or police, I don't care. You're wearing the same darn uniform. You let this stuff happen. So to me, you're on their side more than you're on anybody else's side. What they do, you promote, you allow it. That's how I see it. Sorry, y'all are too secretive for a reason. Y'all don't want everybody to know the, I guess, interconflict, interdiscussion, whichever you guys call it, powwow time. Anyway, though, I went the legal route. I was trying to fight it back because I had no idea how deep of a problem this really actually was. It, as I said before, and I think the last video, not completely sure. These things do go up to Supreme Court level. Now, every state is different. That's why I do make sure to hone in that in my state for the most part, if I didn't do that before. Every state has different legalities to itself, different approaches, but there are some laws that are just straight up federal. I'm not sure about this one, but all I know is this case, when I went to fought legally, I was later told that Supreme Court ruling already messed that whole thing up, which is funny because, again, like lawyers, as they always do, they only start telling you a lot of things when you start paying. They don't tell you a whole lot. So you think that free lawyer consultation is really going to help you out? It's not. They're not really going to give you that much effort because it requires effort for them to do anything. They need to do research, time, everything. They have to know the legal system. I know this because, well, I have some people that did go into the lawyer system, and I did pay attention to what they were doing whenever that information would pop up about their progress on that. For the state, no. And for what state it is, I ain't telling you. But anyway, though, the thing about this is that lawyers and officers have strategies that play into each other. And the strategy is obviously seen in the courtroom, in the results, how they approach the situation. My lawyers immediately kind of told me like, "Oh well, this is just a losing battle," and I'm like, "Well, I'd rather fight it anyway." Like, the thing about it is that that right there showcases the generalization issue that every authority figure has nowadays. Police, lawyers, judges, authorities that should not be biased, period. That should not, because generalization is in itself easy way into bias when it comes down to the decision making. If you automatically think every black guy that comes up is just some hoodlum thug, or should I say a hoodlum fiend from a very favorite teacher of mine back in high school. I love what he said that, hoodlum fiend. But that's what they see you as. It doesn't matter what your background is, doesn't matter what you were going through, because here's the thing. In with this law, basically took my case after the last lawyer got annoyed because I was very honed on this case. Because after being told that it went Supreme Court level, it didn't go anything, I was like, okay, I'm going to get on this because I want to fight this for many reasons, both for people who might be in this situation and for the fact that I got assaulted in the holding. And, well, they can do whatever they want to you in holding because it's completely fine to injure people. It's completely fine to do that over a misdemeanor. I got injured over a misdemeanor. In what world does that make fucking sense to anybody? Oh, we'll beat you up. You think a felony would be kind of reckoning for that because a felony is actually serious stuff. But here's the thing, misdemeanors can be applied to a very wide margin of things. And because it can, and because of how easy it is to throw one on you, lawyers generalize because it's easier to go and side with the police and the courts than with their representative. They'll play the part very easily. Oh yeah, we'll do this. Oh yeah, and here's the thing, they'll always promise you, we got your back, don't worry about that, we got your back. They don't have your back. They already know exactly what they do the moment they look at your case. Because they'll say misdemeanor, they're like, okay, we're throwing this out. We'll let the courts decide whatever. And me being a big black guy, they automatically went for community service, and I was not about to do that for some dumb shit. Sorry for profanity, but that's just how it is. Because at the end of the day, if I was just a regular civilian with no kind of financial backing from my disability income, I wouldn't have been able to pay for a lawyer, and thus I would have to get a free lawyer, which is actually way worse in many ways, because the free lawyer doesn't even listen. The regular lawyer that you have to pay for will sit down and listen because you're paying for them. They have to give you the idea that they truly are giving you their undivided attention. That's why they'll talk to you. That's why they'll sit down with you. But don't be fooled by that. They've already made the decision. Just like how they stopped me from being able to just pay off the fine, because when I realized that they were going to really just throw out the court, when I kind of came to the conclusion, like 9 times they'll call out the court case, or even if they did it and they were trying to fight with me on this, it might just get shut down before it even gets started. So I was like, call my losses, just pay out the fine. I called them though because I'm a kind of a team player kind of guy. I don't want to just do things without informing my team. They were heavily against it because they were so sure. The police were so nice. And here's the thing, and if you make it to the end of this video, I want you to really pay attention to this part right here. So they will lie to you if it means making sure you still keep them as your representative. Because if they represent you in court, it locks the payment in. So that $3,500 I could have saved if I had just paid the fine and called it a day. Money would have been given right back to me because there would have been nothing to be done. But they didn't like that. So they were like, no, give us a chance. I give them a chance. Community service. Thank you, guys. You did a fantastic job. I'd rather take the misdemeanor because it doesn't really affect me at the end of the day. Now, for a civilian, it does affect them quite a lot. But I don't like how they do it. You want to throw away the misdemeanor under the condition you want me to do physical manual labor for you. For trying to get a ride after drinking at the bar. Getting a ride, not driving. So you already know there was a level of responsibility. So what was the point of the punishment? That's why I just paid the fine, and that's why now I'm doing this. There's too many systems that only hurt the people, not help the people. And you need to understand these things, because this is not for people who already know this. This is for people who haven't ran into this yet. This is me trying to warn you before you have to go through a lot. And here's the thing, I wasn't even in my right mind, but here's also a big thing. The legal system is trying its hardest not to recognize mental health problems because it makes it too difficult to get the money out of you. They can't do that because mental health is too much of a prevalent problem. They don't want to make it easy for everybody to just, say, yeah, I got mental health. That's the nicer version of it. But the real version is we can't have all these mental health people come through with all these different problems and acknowledge them because it makes it hard for us to really give them the hard stuff, like throw the hard book at them. It's difficult. That's why they don't want to acknowledge it. That's why that guy tried his best to make it where I wasn't a veteran because federally I'm recognized as a disabled, permanently disabled veteran, fully disabled at that. And I can easily back it up even further because the men's wellness center that I went to does have record of my testosterone levels when I went there after the court. So I was already suffering from severe testosterone levels, which is not good. It affects you cognitively. It affects you daily. It affects your fitness. It affects your performance. And trust me, ED is not fun. And I'm working through that right now. And trust me, if you got ED, you ain't alone. Even I got it too. Don't worry about it though. Look at my nutrition stuff. It'll at least help out. It's not TRT, but at the very least, it'll do something for you. It did something for me. That's why I promote it a bit because this is my combination of things. Because one thing will not help you. It will only improve a little quality. You need a combination of things. That's just my little bit of tidbit for nutrition wise. Other than that, we're at the 11-minute mark. I'm doubtful most of you are even here at this point. So we'll cut in it here. I'm going to be uploading both parts on YouTube. I'm just trying to spread the word, trying to help spread awareness. There's just too many things going on for an individual to really be cognizant of what's happening in society or how the legal system looks at them or how the federal or local law looks at local government looks at them. Like, you gotta have somebody telling you something for you to realize there's something wrong sometimes. Some people, they don't need anybody telling them anything. Others, like myself, have to go through the worst so that I can tell you how to avoid it. Anyway, have a productive day and you be careful out there. Whoever you are looking right now, this is Eternia. I'm out.